It is the Frank and Friends show. Hi there, I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
Well, hello, Kathryn.
Hey, Frank, how's it going?
I'm doing well, thank you. Merry Advent, practically Christmas.
Practically Christmas in every way.
I dug out the red shirt for this.
It's nice.
Because you know what I always say, ho, ho, ho.
Where?
When I'd say it, I think of the Santa Claus in A Christmas Story.
Okay.
You know, you'll put your eye out, kid. Ho, ho, ho.
I don't remember that character.
He's Santa Claus?
Santa Claus says it to the kid?
Yeah, and when he puts his boot on his forehead and pushes him down the slide.
Yeah, no, I don't remember this at all.
So you're not one who watches the Christmas Story marathon? Because I don't either. I'm glad to know it. All right. Well, there's a couple of pieces of business we have to get to before we get into what's wrong with Kathryn.
So much. So stick around for that.
Our merch store, I have finally made a few significant breakthroughs on our Frank and Friends show merch store. And we got to say thank you to Tanya Cinnamon for being the first one to buy a pint glass and a hoodie.
Nice.
And I bought a hoodie for my wife. In fact, do you want anything for Christmas, Kathryn? Because you know what
Probably.
I could buy. You know what I could buy you.
Well, you know what I need.
Oh, a cell phone case.
I do. You know.
So I could literally just order that. It wouldn't be very. I mean, this would be nice, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. All right.
Well, thanks for telling me, because I could probably.
You could probably make that happen. Right?
Yeah. You know, I get the wholesale prices, but we do appreciate those purchases because you're supporting the Frank and Friends show. You're helping us buy the batteries and the other things, paying off the camera and all the other things that we have to do the show, and that's fantastic. And the merch, by the way, here's what's exciting, is the bucket hat, which is a silly item.
It's cute.
It frustrated me to no end because I'm not an artistic designer. I'm not good at graphics. And the way they have you do it, they give you this template of a hat. And it's like, here's the front panel, and here's the top, and here's the back panel, and here's the brim. And they just lays your logo on there, and it just splish splashes over, and it's all disconnected and discombobulated.
Yeah, it looks great.
Well, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Because I just moved the logos around and then added another logo on the front.
Yeah.
And that's not what I originally was trying to do. Originally, I was taking the title card with the mountains and the trees and laying that on there on the hat, and that didn't work. It was too much graphics, and it was crashed the system. So I kept trying, and finally I got the bucket hat as you see it. And what I've done is you can get it. I only made it available in colors that I thought were close to our logo.
Sense.
So you can get it in white or blue or green. With the logo splashed on there. But my wife thinks it's cute. You think it's cute?
It is.
Check, it's cute. And as Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer would say, she thinks it's cute.
And you can find it at frankandfriendshow.com/store.
Nice. So the bucket hat is all the way down the bottom because it's the most recent thing I added. Also, I finally, speaking of the bucolic cartoon Smokies that I like, that Jody Collins did for us. We've got the mountains and the motel sign with the sticks and everything. It's at the beginning of every episode. I finally got that not only on the beach towel, which we talked about a couple of episodes ago, but I got it on the what's called the canvas print. So one of the things I'm going to buy myself is the canvas print, and then after Christmas we can hang it up on the wall.
Oh, that'll be fun. Yeah, that'll be great.
I just thought that'd be
in
humorous.
our studio.
Because well, right now, I mean, I spend hours trying to get the logo down there in the corner right here or right here.
Right.
This logo right here that I'm imagining.
Right. Yeah.
It's you'll notice in some episodes it just disappears for a few seconds because I've screwed something up. It's remarkably difficult to get that on there for the whole time. Episode. Yeah.
Makes sense.
You have to stretch it out all the way and then duplicate it and then match it to itself. And
so if you watch through this whole episode and you find a hole in where
go ahead and send a complaint letter.
Yeah, please let us know in the comments what time that happens at.
Because there's nothing I can do about it except beat myself up.
And it'll be fun. It's like maybe we should give away prizes.
Just send it right to frankandfriendshow@gmail.com. Give you a prize. I'll give you a prize.
But don't forget to subscribe and smash that button.
Yes, on the YouTube. Our YouTube subscriptions have been inching up higher and higher, and I appreciate it for all of you who have done that. So that's really cool because, that's one of our goals is to get to 1,000 subscribers and, keep doing all the fun things that we're doing. But last time we did this show by remote, you were in New York.
I was. And it was surprisingly not as cold as I thought it was going to be.
Well, it depends. Yeah, I mean, you were there in early December?
Early December.
It could go either way, I mean, you can go there in late December and be frozen to sub-zeros.
Yeah.
Or vice versa,
Yeah, it was quite pleasant, and I ran into a lot of friends. I had meetings with people who used to live in Knoxville that I didn't meet with when they were in Knoxville. So I went to New York to meet with them.
Now, do they live in New York now?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because also people from other parts of the country go to New York during this time of year for the opera scene.
That's true, too.
You all go to mix and mingle and be operatic with each other.
Yeah.
So you'll run into people from the West Coast and from the Midwest and the South and the Southwest, and you all show up in New York at the same time.
From everywhere.
And you audition for each other, and you play piano for each other, and you do...
We talk to each other.
Musical things.
Yeah, go to lunch and see shows and
Now, you posted a picture. I mean, I'm not saying you don't look good now. Don't take this the wrong way.
Wait for it.
Because you look fine. You look fine. But you posted you in the audition look.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh my, who's that?
Well, we could have like an audition day attire for the podcast.
Oh, I don't know if I could keep up. That's a pretty high bar. Frady going to an audition is like, excuse me, madam, do I know you? Who is the fancy lady?
I do like that dress. It's really pretty. It's off the shoulder.
It wasn't just the dress. It was the makeup and the hair.
It was all done up.
Yeah.
Because it's a performance. I mean, and that's the thing with opera auditions. They're so different, really, than musical theater auditions. I love musical theater auditions because I could show up like this.
Yeah, most people probably show up in shorts or sweatpants.
Or jeans. And
it's like when you see the beginning of a chorus line, that is pretty accurate as to what people would show up for an audition, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But for opera, you get dressed up as if you're giving a performance.
Oh, wow. So. But not in costume, you dress up like as if it were a concert.
A concert.
Concert garb, not costume.
Yeah, it's cocktail attire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how did the audition go?
It went well. I sang for a friend of mine. Actually, I met her, I'm not going to tell you how long ago I met her, but we've known each other many, many years, and now she is running an opera company.
And, people say the same thing about you.
It's true.
You understand that there are people who say, well, I've known Kathryn for a while. Now she's got her own opera company. Why don't we get her to do our show?
Exactly. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun, and I ran into a lot of people I knew and didn't expect to see.
How does that go? So you show up at not in a hotel room, there's an audition room.
It's the Opera America Center actually holds a lot of the auditions.
Okay, so they have and a rehearsal space it's not exactly a gym, but it has like probably a dance type floor or a gym type floor so you can move.
Yeah.
And it's got instruments, or do you have to bring your own keyboard? What do you have to do?
Well, they always pick a room that has a piano in it.
Okay.
So one of my auditions was in a very small practice room with a piano, and we're not very far away from one another.
But a real piano, not an electric
real
one.
piano,
Okay.
yeah.
And probably an upright or something.
No, a baby grand.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Fancy.
And for you're all dressed up. You have to have a baby grand to go with it.
I think you need a mama grand or whatever for the way you looked.
Well, I did that day. That day I did have a mama grand in the room. And it was not just a small little studio. It was actually the recital hall at the National Opera Center.
Who plays the piano for you?
So, oh my goodness, pianists in New York. You would think that they would be everywhere.
Well, let me ask you a question. Rochelle Bard.
Yeah.
She can sing and can play the piano. Could she theoretically... No, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't play for your own audition. That
really
would look
wouldn't.
bad because they'd hire you as the pianist.
Right.
Okay, so how do you do it?
It was basically like looking for Waldo in a Where's Waldo book.
It's New York.
I know.
It is the biggest city on the continent.
I have to tell you, I went through 15 pianists, friends of mine, and none of them were available for this audition.
Well, because everyone else is auditioning, they probably all got booked up, right?
I guess they were booked or they were
smart enough
traveling.
to, they take vacation. They know, oh gosh, here comes Frady, let's take a vacation.
They were all very apologetic. But we did have to send out the search committee to find a pianist for me. So I worked with a person I did not know on that last audition. So, but it went well. We sang. As long as
they kept their eyes on the music,
they
not
did.
on you, we're fine.
They did pretty well.
Because you don't want to be going like, oh, look at that lady.
Well, we performed with one of the pieces from the Copper Queen, and so they had never seen the music before.
Well, who has? This is the one you're doing in June.
That's right.
And it's the first time it's been staged. Is that right?
That's right. So the Arizona Opera did a filmed production of it, but Marble City Opera is doing the staged production.
And you get to play the ghost lady.
Yes.
So you're using that in your auditions to show off that, why?
Well, because everyone's doing new opera. Even the Met, they just commissioned with LA Opera a piece called Eurydice, which I actually got to see.
Oh, how do you spell it?
Like Eurydice, but because it's in English, they call it Eurydice.
But it's EU.
EU.
Okay, so it's a famous, is that like a famous Greek tragedy that I should know?
It is. Yeah. I think it's Orpheus.
I bombed out of Greek honors. I took an honors class, an interdisciplinary honors class one semester, and the professor thought I was a drug addict because I couldn't keep up and I couldn't do the assignments. I think he's on drugs. He told my
I
parents.
couldn't either. I was in honors English too until we had to do mythology, and I was like, I can't do this. The names and the spellings.
I remember Herodotus from the history section.
Yeah,
I don't remember. So when you said that, I'm like, oh no, I'm getting a bad feeling right now.
Well, they do go get dragged to hell and don't come back out. So
I'm not a bad feeling about the content of the show. Just a bad feeling about learning it, studying it, failing at it. Yeah, it was bad. All right, but is it okay? Did they do a good job?
Yeah, it was cool. They had these stone people, which were fun. They were dressed up as stones, and they were like the stone chorus.
Oh,
like a Greek chorus, but stones.
That
was kind of my favorite part.
That's cool.
The set was cool. The costumes were cool. The singing was cool.
And you're one of the first people to ever see it.
I think LA Opera actually produced it right before the pandemic. So
I see. All right.
So other people had seen it first.
It's funny because this is the same thing that Marble City is doing in Knoxville. You get an opera company in Indiana or Ohio or somewhere, and you do this joint commission, and you both put on this show. And the LA and New York just do it. They're just bigger cities.
Bigger scale, yeah.
Well, that's fancy.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, now you're back in town, and obviously we've had, in the interim, since you've been back from New York, we all did the Nativity Pageant over the weekend of December 11, 12, 13.
That's right.
And this was you performing again.
And you. We were both performing.
But this was not you singing at all. You have been the vocal soloist many years ago. In fact, I've dug up a picture.
Yes.
On the Nativity
because you have
pageants.
like special powers of finding like these pictures.
Yeah, you know what it was?
From a long time ago.
Yeah, you go to Facebook and you search for Nativity Pageant pictures, and then you go to sort by year, and you just go 1 year at a time until I found some blonde lady who resembled you.
And there it was. It was me.
It wasn't really that super difficult, but I made it sound harder than it was.
That's hilarious.
So
well, how many times?
2015 was you were the soloist, I think is what it said, right?
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you were saying?
How many times have you done the Nativity Pageant?
Twice.
Twice, okay.
I went as an audience member one time because they had my wife Jere as the Prelude. Somebody on the committee that year asked, they were all, I guess, supposed to get Prelude entertainment. And we saw what we had this year. We had a lady who played Christmas carols on the harp. And we had a show choir. I think it was Holston Show Choir. And the
K-Town Brass.
So this was all big productions, right?
Yeah.
So my wife is asked to come out and sing some Christmas carols as the Prelude. And this is also probably, it's like also around 2015, 16, somewhere in there. I have to look up. Because if it turns out that it's the same year.
That would be fun.
It would be hilarious. Because I didn't know you then.
Yeah.
And so she asks, okay, well, what do I have to do? Well, you come out and you sing and you do your thing. And she says, well, who's the accompanist? And much like you found, no, there's no accompanist unless you want to bring your own.
Right. And she probably would have had to bring her own keyboard.
Yeah, exactly. So what she did is she went over to church and got the hymnals and picked out a bunch of Christmas songs that she could do a cappella. We bought her a pitch pipe.
Nice.
Or maybe she downloaded a pitch pipe app if they had them back then. But I remember buying her a pitch pipe.
Nice.
An actual one. And so she got out there and did and
then sang.
And just sang for 20 minutes a cappella.
That's great.
Christmas carols, and that was the Prelude.
I love it. So that was your first experience.
That was my first experience, and I sat in the audience and I thought, oh, this is nice.
Yeah.
And I recognized, of course, the voice actors.
Right.
Because I'm thinking, oh, wow, that's Tom Miller, who used to be the male narrator. I didn't know Marcia Mary, who was the main female narrator, but she's like the star. Everything is compared to Marcia Mary. Everything, she set the standard.
She was
for
fabulous.
20 or 30 or 40 years of being the female narrator. And you're either worse than Marcia Mary or almost as good as Marcia Mary.
Yeah.
That's the range that you can get. That's
right.
the score you can get.
Yeah.
You were almost as good as Marcia Mary. Or
she was fabulous.
Yeah, you can't exceed her. That's the range. So but I also recognized, some of the local actors who were doing the wacky character voices, and I thought, but it never occurred to me that I might be invited to do it someday, until that guy got another role 2 years ago in 2019.
Okay.
The guy who was doing the voices, he had something better to do.
Well, how can you have something better to do than the Nativity Pageant? He had something different to do.
All right, but it probably paid more.
Probably.
So he took the role being on stage where he can be his acting
as he
guy.
wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of being a voice guy.
Right.
And it occurs to Ernie, the director, we had just wrapped Scholars Bowl, and we were working on the next thing, and he says to me, I need to find some guy who, like an improv guy who can do some voices, and someone suggested you. I'm like, well,
yeah,
why not? I'll give it a shot. So that was 2019, and I did the voices of these different characters, Isaiah and Gabriel and Centurion and Shepherd and Magi and Herod.
Herod. I really enjoy your Herod voice. Are you going to
sure.
show us some of your Herod?
Sure, because actually when Natalie Kimbrough, who's in the orchestra, is the music teacher at the school where Jere works, and she says, I love Trank's voices. Well, you think he'd come to my class and show them how he did it?
Nice.
Because you saw me.
Yeah.
It's not just changing your voice from, and sitting here the same way. It's a contortion.
Yeah. Yeah, you changed your whole physicality every single time.
Yeah, because I want to use the voice to come out differently. So for Angel Gabriel, I tried to be as calm and soothing and much as close to my regular voice as possible, because he has the most lines of my characters.
Right.
So that gives me a baseline. I can always revert to Angel Gabriel because that's just as close to my normal voice, but gentle. But then for Isaiah, I thought, well, he's Old Testament. I don't know that much about the Old Testament, except, I would watch Charlton Heston as Moses.
That's a good person to watch.
Behold. And I would put a little extra L in there, a little extra tongue. Behold, the Lord is my Savior.
You know who I also liked is the Centurion when you cleared your throat.
You know why I cleared my throat? Because I talked to the actor who played the Centurion, and he's like, I don't know when to turn around and act like I'm starting to read. And I think in the older version of the script, there was a throat clear.
Okay.
And that's actually his cue to turn.
Nice.
So I added that back in.
So he knew.
So that he knows when to turn and with the scroll. I'm going, by the order of this decree.
Yeah.
I make it sound as just gravelly. And actually, now that I think of it, I'm doing Nelson Rockefeller. Not that anyone would get that reference, but that's who he sounds like. And then, of course, I love the way he says, for taxation.
Yeah.
And then the shepherd boy, who I guess is not a shepherd boy anymore, he's a shepherd man, but I would try to tighten up my vocal cords and sound excited about let us go into Bethlehem.
Yeah.
And be younger sounding. And then who am I leaving out?
Herod.
Herod and the Magi. The Magi technically is an impersonation of my next door neighbor who's from Turkey.
Okay.
It's not even close. If you compared him to me, they don't sound the same, but in my head, it's like, we have come to worship Jesus. Where is the Lord?
Right.
It's kind of just heavy, thick,
accent.
Because Turkey would be relatively close to where these dudes came from. But then the best is, like you said, they'll save the best for last, which is King Herod. So him, I imagine, being a cartoon.
Okay.
So here's the people I'm thinking about when I'm doing Herod. There's Simon Bar Sinister from the old Underdog show.
Nice.
There's Jafar from Aladdin.
Yes.
There's some of these Christmas villains like the Snow Miser or whomever, some of these bad guys with the big crooked pointy noses.
Sure. Okay.
That's what I picture. So then I put my finger inside my nose and I move the microphone. So then instead of being down deep voice down here where this microphone is, I think I just bumped it. It's more up here in my sinuses. Go and bring back words so that I may worship him also. And I make that face because I want it to sound oily and disgusting and gross.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
And that's the one that cracks everybody up.
I know. It is a little Jafar-esque.
Oh, it's very, yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody else thought it sounded like Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars.
Oh, I don't know who Emperor Palpatine is, but yeah.
Have you heard of the Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Have you seen the Star Wars?
Yeah, of course. Who hasn't?
So am I getting the name wrong? Is it not Emperor Palpatine?
I just don't know that I know everybody's names.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of all the people in Star Wars, Who would sound the most like that? Luke Skywalker, young Skywalker.
Okay, so just the Emperor.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know his last name or his first name. Just Emperor.
Yeah, Emperor Pal. We call him Pal for short. Or you can call him Mr. Patine. Emperor Pal Patine. He's terrific.
Okay, got it.
All right.
Well, I enjoyed playing the voice of Mary, but
Did you?
On the last performance, I got to step in as the narrator, and one of my favorite things
There was a little backstage drama.
A little backstage drama.
That I intervened.
You did.
For the better or for the worse? It was okay?
Oh, it was great.
All right.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, you called me half an hour before the production started and said, Amy's not feeling well.
She sounds hoarse. She says to me, she's sitting up there at her position, and I wasn't even planning on staying up in the booth. I just wanted to drop off my jacket and then go down to the party place and hang out with the
party animals,
the
nativity.
Yeah, all the nativity moms and drink and drink some of that spiced tea, which makes my throat feel good.
Yeah.
So I'm just going up there to drop off my stuff, and Amy's already there, and she's got this wide-eyed, panicked look like,
"Oh no,
I'm losing my voice." I said, "Stop talking."
First,
stop talking. Kathryn and I may have to switch. Stop. Stop. First of all, stop talking.
That's good.
So she thought that maybe she could play Mary and you could be the narrator, and that's what I texted you. And
right.
I tried calling you actually first.
You did, yeah.
Because
I was
thought,
driving.
It's fine. I'm glad you didn't answer. Safety first.
Yeah.
But I thought, you need as much time as possible to get this in your head.
Right.
We can't spring this on you after you climb that staircase. You need to know that
right
before
you climb the staircase.
You have to
with a mission.
You have to save some breath.
That's right. Yeah.
Climb all the way to the top of
the rafters there.
And then once you get to the very, very top, then you have to climb up the ladder into this booth, and you're brushing the ceiling when you're standing up.
Yeah.
So I said, well, first we'll call Kathryn. I said, first of all, Amy, it's really would be the director's decision.
Of course.
But here's the way it's going to play out is if you don't feel well enough, if you think you have whatever your voice, we don't know what's causing it right now. If you're having congestion or other sinus issues, maybe you shouldn't be around other people just in case. Be safe, better safe than sorry. Because it could be vocal strain.
Sure.
From having done, we did an extra rehearsal on Saturday, so we did 3 rehearsals and a performance on Saturday.
That's true.
Plus a performance on Sunday.
Right.
And then she had to go work at her day job at a school on Monday, so she could just have worn out.
She could have just worn it out.
It could just be vocal strain.
Yeah.
So that's option A, which should be perfectly safe to be around. But
she also mentioned some sinus pressure.
That means you need to back up.
Yeah.
Now you don't want to risk getting anybody else, your sinus, whatever it is. So therefore, do you have the strength to do the voice of the narrators? I'm asking you. You're there. I'm asking you these questions because you're like, you told me later. It's not like I can just say, go ahead, give me your...
Oh yeah, give it to me. I'm sure I'll take it. I'd be happy to do it, but I kept telling to her well, what do you want to do? What do you feel comfortable with? I can't tell you whether or not you can get through the whole piece or not. It's long. I know that it's a lot of words. It's a lot of talking over this hour.
Even thinking about it, I need water.
And so, but I wanted her to make that decision. She had talked to the director and everything, and the director was fine with doing whatever needed to be done.
Yeah, the director was fine with swapping it out so that she would have played Mary and you would have played narrator.
Right.
But I said, now also, Amy, you got to think about it. How about the audience? Is the audience going to expect to hear a raspy voiced Mary in the Nativity Pageant?
Right.
So you have to decide what you think is best. Can you do it without sounding raspy, or do you want to take yourself out of the running? It's up to ultimately that's what she decided. I mean, you saw what I was doing. I spelled it out to the obvious.
Yeah.
Everything except making the decision for her.
Yeah. But I did want to make a decision. We're talking about 30 minutes before we start. I'm like, okay, well, whatever we do, let's decide now. Yeah, so that if I need to do it, I can practice.
So you had to go, because normally you and I are like chatty Cathy's before the show.
Yeah, just doing our thing. We could have had the camera up. We did like extra episodes of the podcast that were not recorded. That's right. Yeah.
But I tried to turn and keep Bob, the other guy, engaged. We talked about his life in Hollywood so that you could have... I hope it wasn't distracting. I was trying to
not at all. Not at all. It was great.
Focus off of you so you could do your thing.
Yeah, I had a chance to read through all of the lines to myself and, make sure I knew when the entrances were. But yeah, it was a great time. I mean, one of my I feel very happy that Terry Weber was there.
Yeah.
And he thought that Mary and the narrator were two different people.
Terry Weber is a local actor and director, and he used to be the director of the Nativity Pageant for years and years. And then our friend Ernie Roberts took over from Terry, and Ernie always feels like he's in Terry's shadow because Terry's known as a director and as the founder of the Word Players, and a lot of the people involved, like the other narrators who are not there this year, like the guy I replaced, he was an actor in the Word Players.
I see.
And Rachel Norman, who had narrated it 2 years ago, couldn't this year because she was involved in a production of the Word Players.
I see.
So there's a lot of crossover there.
Yeah.
And so for Terry to show up and say we did a good job, it was very gratifying.
It was, yeah. I was very appreciative of that.
I saw him as Scrooge at Clarence Brown Theater. Oh man, he was great.
Was he?
Oh boy, yeah. He's not only a good director, he's a good actor.
That's
which
fun.
I think is naturally.
You know, a fun fact is that he actually taught James, my husband, when James was a theater student at the University of Tennessee.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, fun fact.
So Nativity Pageant, if you want to get involved, like someone asked me, how do I get, we actually, they asked both of us. Remember the lady who came up to us?
Yeah, they said they wanted to do it.
She said, how do I get to be in that? What church runs this? Well, actually, no church. There's the Nativity Pageant of Knoxville Incorporated, a nonprofit corporation. And if you go to knoxvillenativity.com, there's a place where it says cast, and you can volunteer to be in it next year. So now's the time while it's fresh in your mind is to do that.
It is.
Speaking of websites and things to do, may I recommend a completely different subject?
Well, I mean,
Jesus rose from the dead.
That's right.
Dr. Bass raises dead bones to study them.
Exactly. Somewhat related. Nice segue.
Bonezones.com, don't forget the S, where you can get fine merchandise. And they are local to the Knoxville area, so if you desperately, only days now till Christmas, or maybe you're going to see somebody after Christmas, contact Bone Zones and see if maybe you can arrange a pickup in the Weigel's parking lot.
Nice.
That's where usually, when I have to go get something, it's like, meet me in the Weigel's parking lot. I'm like, okay, which one? The one on Western Avenue. I'm like, okay, I'm here. Nope, you're at the wrong Weigel's.
I know, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'll have to go pick
meetings.
up, something that I have to sign or something. And this here, hold this up. This is
What is this that I'm holding?
This is called a challenge coin. And in the military and law enforcement, challenge coins are, they're like a trading coin, you know? And if you usually have a few of yours, and if there's some circumstance where if, I'm trying to figure out what it is in the military and in law enforcement, but there's some reason why you would be expected to give your challenge coin to someone else, and maybe vice versa.
Okay.
Some kind of professional thing has happened.
It's like a trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a business card.
Yeah, but obviously they're not cheap.
No, it's very heavy.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And it is beautiful.
So you can get a Dr. Bass challenge coin. I keep mine in my trophy case in the other room, but I wanted to show it to you.
Yeah, it has a wonderful picture of Dr. Bass on the front, Professor Emeritus, and on the back you have founder of the Body Farm. I like. There's a picture of the state of Tennessee with a skull in it. It's pretty great.
Oh yeah, nice. Right where Knoxville would be, right where the Body Farm would be.
Yeah.
That's great. Very cool. Bonezones.com. Don't forget the S. And that's here on the bottom of the coin. You can get we happen to have these, but if you want some T-shirts, or most people order the autographed books. That's the coolest thing, is to get Dr. Bass. I mean, he's 93, almost 93 and a half. Get him to sign a book for you.
Absolutely.
Or get an autographed picture or something like that.
Yeah.
And we appreciate the support. So Merry Christmas from the cheerful Bone Zones crew. I did get a Christmas card from Susan and the Bone Zones team. Nice. The other day.
So how many Christmas cards have you gotten so far?
You know, I haven't kept count. You still were the winner. You gave us the first Christmas card. You know, apparently our Christmas card that we sent out was the first for many people. Yeah. And apparently that has shamed some people. Well, yeah, because what if you're not on their Christmas card list? But if by sending it out early, they can add you to the list, and it doesn't seem odd.
That's true. But I've heard that people have been texting each other, and then they've mentioned it to either myself or James, and like, oh yeah, we all got this Christmas card from you all. We're like, did you get one? Oh, did you get one yet?
Oh no!
How can they already have their Christmas cards out?
See, I'm worried about that because no matter what you do, you're always going to forget to include someone on your list because you don't have their mailing address.
Yes.
In a day and age of email and text, sometimes it's awkward to say on December 23rd, hey, what's your mailing address? I'm finally sending out cards.
I keep a pretty extensive list of addresses.
Well, you're in a different business than me. You're in a business of sending out fundraising letters and ticket solicitations.
That's true.
So that you would keep your mailing labels up to date.
But I also have like a Christmas card mailing list specifically.
Well, so as do we, but we didn't send out cards last year because, it was too depressing. And Jere printed out the list, and I'm looking through the spreadsheet going, I'm crossing things out, like dead, both dead. That's what, I guess I'm older than you, yeah. No, well, these are people who would have been my mother's generation. So I actually had to cross off my mother. I'm kind of
sad.
It's sad, but no, sorry, Mom does not get a Christmas card this year because she's dead. And then my son-in-law's grandparents both have passed away in the last 2 years, so they're both off the list.
Yep.
And then other people just moved. I know our friends Todd and Donna moved to Oak Ridge, but I don't know their address anymore. We had it for years, and now I don't have it.
Well, did you write and find out what it was?
Not yet.
Okay.
You can do that because Jere printed up our Christmas card, and.
Ooh, it's nice.
But we haven't mailed any out yet. So I went to Postal Annex. Dr. Al Hazari is a very great guy, does work with Dr. Bass. He's got this store that sells stamps and has P.O. boxes and all that stuff. And we support his business.
Nice.
He advertises on my radio show, and I'll go in and we mail all the packages to the Rocket Brothers. And you can see on there, my issue with the Christmas card is that Jere is not on it enough. There's one picture of Jere.
Just one.
There's 2 pictures of me.
Yes.
And then 2 pictures of each of the grandkids.
Okay.
And a picture of Megan and a picture of Frank Jr.
So you're actually in these pictures the most.
Well, I'm tied for first with all the kids.
That seems appropriate, though. I mean, I stand by Jere in this card and the choices she made.
I think there should be more Jere on the card. But there's a picture of us at a fundraiser where we're all dressed up nice in the spring.
Nice.
There's a picture that my friend Jessica Brackeen, I think, took one night after. It was actually on my birthday.
Oh, okay.
And after the Einstein Simplified show on my actual birthday.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
we
that's
were
in
in
Scruffy City?
Market Square, and they have the firefly lights strung up.
Nice.
And then for St. Nicholas Day, just at the beginning of December, Jere sent the kids matching pajamas.
Nice.
So that is the most recent picture where they're all wearing their matching pajamas. And
cute.
And then Jere didn't even take these other ones. She just stole them from Megan's
That's good.
Google Photos.
Yeah. As you do, as a good grandparent, you steal the photos.
Maybe my wife will be mad at me for disagreeing with her on this, but my thinking is, no, you can put on as many pictures on as you want that you took.
But, no, you can steal photos.
But we weren't even there.
That's okay.
They were here. We could have used pictures from when they were here.
You could have, but,
all right.
That's all right.
Well, here's another. On the topic of Christmas cards, here's another one for you. Okay.
Season's greetings.
So this Christmas card I found out by the trash bin.
It doesn't have it's not addressed to anyone.
Right. I found it on the ground next to our trash bin, our cart, our trash cart.
Can I open it?
Yeah.
Wishing you a joyous holiday season and a new year filled with happiness. Happy holidays from John and Ty.
So my strong suspicion is that these are the guys who empty our trash every week. And
could be.
That what they've done is they left this card on the trash can, and maybe it fell off.
Okay.
And this, I think, is them fishing for a tip.
Could be.
So what do you think?
I mean,
I'm not opposed to giving them a Christmas tip, but I think this is smart because this way I know to do it.
Right. Because you wouldn't know if they didn't leave this card.
Right. You would think, how do you tip a garbage man?
Yeah, but how do you? So if you did want to leave a tip, where would you leave it?
You put it in the garbage.
But then they're not going to get it.
Oh, they get it.
But they won't actually.
Oh, they don't know they have it.
Yeah, it'll go in the landfill. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
I guess so. You write a check. Don't put cash in there.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh yeah, I gave you a tip, and it's still in your bank account. Frank
no, I
Murphy.
think what you would do in reality, you would tape you'd do a card back or an envelope back
and tape it to the
top of the garbage can, and you would write on it in big letters, John and Ty,
right,
so that they would then take the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true, if this is just a Facebook rumor, but I heard that you can't really tip the mailman or the mail carrier with cash or gift cards.
Okay.
The former mail carrier said, no, if you cash or gift cards, they will worry that the postal service will worry that the carrier might have stolen those.
From a card.
So it's better to give them something that isn't cash or gift cards.
Right, cookies
or a pair of socks or something that is obviously a gift. So anyway, I heard that you don't want to put cash or gift cards for your mail carriers because you don't want anyone to suspect that they stole it, even though they obviously didn't because you're giving it to them.
Right.
And I think I'm sure I've given Starbucks or some other kind of gift card to our mail carrier in the past.
I wonder if they were able to take it.
I mean, you can address it to them plainly and clearly, but I don't know. Oh, that's a good question. I guess I have to research that a little more. If you have any insight and you want to comment on it, you can do it in the comments below, or send an email to frankandfriendsshow@gmail.com.
Oh my goodness!
I thought of one more thing. I'm speaking of the grandkids and the Christmas card.
Okay.
I meant to show you this picture when we were talking about them, but Kathryn, we weren't the only ones in a Christmas pageant. I can't show this picture on the screen,
nice.
But that's Artie Rocket and his classmates
in
a Christmas pageant. But it's really hard to figure out which one he is because they all have on their
masks,
their school uniform masks, and their costumes.
Costumes, yeah.
But he is in there.
Were there dogs in this nativity pageant, or
I think those are
sheep?
I thought
cows?
They were like Chick-fil-A cows.
I mean, okay.
No?
Maybe, yeah.
I think they're cows.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
They might be sheep. They could be sheep.
Yeah.
But those are definitely animals.
Those are some sort of animal.
So Artie's a human character, I'll tell you that.
So is he Joseph?
No.
Is he an angel?
No.
Okay.
So I actually thought he was this cow or this animal, whatever that is. I thought that was him.
Yeah, but it's not. Okay.
No, he was the innkeeper.
There he is.
And now once you know it's him,
then you can definitely see the eyes.
Yeah, you recognize him.
Yeah.
But so he probably thinks it's no big deal that we were at a Christmas pageant, because so was he, with the class after school one day. But I also would love for him to come here one year and we just tell him, oh yeah, you did a nativity pageant. So does Grandpa. Let's go see Grandpa's nativity pageant.
Nice. Although I think he'd love to be the kid who runs down the...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would, in fact, going back to Terry Weber, he said that was a thing that he added as the year when he was directing. This kid who runs in to see Jesus at the end, at the crescendo.
One of my favorite moments.
It works.
Yeah, it really does.
It works.
It always makes me smile.
How are we doing?
You know what else makes me smile?
Ending this show?
That makes me sad, no. Christmas lights make me happy. So when I'm in New York, one of the things I do every time I'm there is I go to Saks Fifth Avenue and watch the light show.
Yeah.
But
so my next door neighbor does that too.
Oh, nice. We were probably there together.
Well, she was there at Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And you were there after.
Not at all.
But also then my other my school librarians who live in Westchester County, she was down the same time in New York, same time as you, for her birthday.
That's fun.
So you went to Saks.
I did, and I saw the Christmas lights. They light up the whole building, and they play the music to go along with the flashing lights and the changing colors. And it's just one of my favorite things to do every single time that I go to New York, which is pretty much...
Is it different every time?
It's different every time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really pretty. And
so it's not like a been there, done that type of thing.
No, it's exciting to see like how they light it up and what music they choose and all of that. But our neighbors also... At Thanksgiving, they were shaming us with their Christmas lights.
Oh, that's early, though.
They got it up before, I think it was before Thanksgiving. All of a sudden, there were these lights, beautiful white lights outlining the garage. And I was like, well, that's nice. And then the next day, their neighbors also had the same white lights lining up over the garage.
Did they hire a company?
Maybe. And then the third day, there was another one. And I said, look, they have started a competition over here.
Oh, wait, I mean...
No one else has lights up outside yet. They can't be... We look terrible in our little, because it's a condo, so we have these different, clusters of homes. And this cluster over here is just making us all look bad. So I got out there and I put Christmas lights out.
By yourself?
By myself.
Did you staple them to the, Collector's Griswold, or what did you do?
No, I put them, I got one of those nets that you can just throw on.
See, that's clever.
On the bush, which was great. And then I strung some other lights and up the tree. Yeah, it was great.
That was from my friend Bean.
I know. But
well,
it was a good time.
I've seen those at the store. They look good.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason now, Jere has decided to get involved. I thought you were talking about an actual neighborhood competition.
No, just one that I felt that the neighbors were competing with me.
Well, in West Hills,
I couldn't let them win.
Over in the West Hills neighborhood, they have an actual decoration competition. They used to have a mailbox decorating contest.
Nice.
But some of these places, I believe, and out in Burbank, they did this too, where they would have a lights contest.
Nice.
And people get big involved with the lights and the sound and the synchronization. So Jere decides to buy a couple of things for Christmas, one of which is 2 strands of lights. So I come home one day, and there's lights across the railing outside the bedroom.
Nice.
And then we had to go buy a new electric, how would you describe it? I guess it's a Christmas tree spike. You normally would spike it into the lawn and plug the lights into it.
Okay.
And it has a timer, or it can be sunset sensitive.
Oh, fancy.
So she's got it all figured out now, so that these lights that are up there, that are brand new, will come on at
dusk, or...
Well, actually, I think maybe she's got it. So she turns them on, and then they stay on for 6 hours or 8 hours.
Okay, nice.
Whatever. There's multiple options. So she picked the one that she liked.
Nice.
And I had to go stand out in the lawn while she's flipping through these different choices. Do you like the fast blinking, or do you like the gold and silver, silver, gold, silver? I said, I like it when it looks like the 2 strands are really just one strand.
Right.
So when they're doing the same thing. I don't like it when this one's flashing fast and this one's flashing slow.
Right. That makes sense.
So that's what we have.
Nice.
And then while she's on a tear, she decided she needs a new Christmas tree. Maybe I'll tell you about that in the next episode.
I'm looking forward to that.
I know we're running a little long, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, why wouldn't I tell you now? It's the last episode before Christmas, I think. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't today the last episode?
Yeah,
Show
I think
Christmas?
it is. Yeah.
So we lived here in this house now for 19 Christmases, and we've had the same fake Christmas tree for all those years.
Nice.
And it gradually gets smaller because she doesn't put it all together. She leaves out chunks.
Okay.
Well, I mean, because...
I don't know how you would do that, but okay.
Well, all right, so the tree's down there in boxes,
Yeah.
and it's got these branches that hook onto the center pole,
right.
and you fold them down,
Right.
and these ones are the ones near the top, and these ones are the middle, and these ones are the base.
And so you just leave out the middle?
No, you leave out the bottom.
Oh.
You leave out the bottom row, and all of a sudden you just have a tree that's that many feet
I see.
shorter.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
She decides, though, that she's always wanted a pre-lit Christmas tree.
They are nice.
Do you have that?
No, I was kind of thinking I wanted one too, but...
Well, let me tell you about this deal before they're gone. So she started shopping online or looking around. She went to a couple of stores, and they don't have them in the stores. I guess she went to the Walmart near us, but found out that they have some online at walmart.com.
Okay.
And I got to say that I was listening to Allie and Bean, and they were talking about this is the worst year to buy a Christmas tree because prices are up, the shortage, the supply chain. So we had kind of written it off and decided this is not the year we're going to get a new tree.
Right.
But she starts looking online at the prices, and they're not bad.
Okay.
In fact, even on the podcast, Allie went out and bought 2 more Christmas trees at Walmart and said, it's whatever that they told us. It was like the Thanksgiving turkeys,
right,
where they told us there was going to be a turkey shortage.
And then there were tons of turkeys left over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no turkey shortage.
Right.
And there's no Christmas tree shortage because we went to walmart.com, and it's going to sound like we spent a lot when I say we spent $149 on a Christmas tree.
Okay.
But we got the one that was marked down from $600.
Wow. So is it huge?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So it should be, and it's not here yet. We're recording this 10 days before Christmas, and it's not here yet. It's supposed to actually come today.
Okay.
I thought it might come last night.
Yeah. We should do an episode where we put the Christmas tree together.
Well, that would make Jere very happy because she doesn't have to, that way she doesn't have to do it. Because with her music schedule, singing at church and at the Clayton Holiday concert, she's booked up.
Right.
It's it's like one of those memes where we don't really put our Christmas tree up until Christmas Eve, not because of any traditionalist beliefs. It's just because
you're busy.
Musicians have no time.
That's true. That's true.
So that's what we did. We could have gotten, they had $30, $40, $50, $60, all the way up.
Nice.
And I wanted, actually, it was my fault. I said, let's get the most expensive one because it's got the most savings.
Well, and it's going to be big and beautiful.
I know. We got to get out a measuring tape to see if it would fit.
That's amazing.
And I'm worried because the margin of error is about this much.
I love it. Well, I can't wait to see it.
It should go this far from the ceiling. What's that, about 2 inches?
So you might have room for a star. If it's little bitty.
Probably not.
You'll have to staple it to the top.
We might have to actually cut or bend to the top of the tree to make it fit. So that's going to be exciting. You'll have to come over and look at it once it's here and once everything is lit.
Yeah, I still have one of those old ones where you put the branches in.
Yeah, that's what we have. We have that down in the basement. Yeah.
But I was pretty pleased. I wanted to get a new one that's pre-lit, but I didn't find one that I liked in the store.
Well, let me show you.
Yeah.
You might want to seriously. Did you already put yours up?
We did. Yeah. It looks pretty good though.
You might want to go ahead and buy one now.
For next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I know.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for, speaking of buying things, for supporting us on the merch store, for supporting Bone Zones, our advertiser on this episode. But if you want something that doesn't clutter up your house,
find it at frankandfriendshow.com/store.
That's also good. But I was going a different direction with it.
That's okay. Frank and Friends store merchandise will not clutter up your house.
Unless you're one of those people who throws your clothes up every which way as you want to dress.
Don't be one of those people.
No, hang it up in the closet where it belongs. But if you wanted a gift that would create zero clutter,
okay.
How about a subscription to Audible?
That's true.
Go to audibletrial.com/frankandfriendsshow and try out Audible Premium for 30 days for free. Download the audiobook or other title of your choice. You can
keep it.
Yeah, whatever counts for 1 credit, you can download it and keep it forever. And just sample it, because you can listen to it in your car, you can listen to it on your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on your Amazon Alexa, whatever, you just tell it to play your Audible selections.
And it'll play it right there for you.
And it remembers where you leave off. So if you listen to it on one device.
That's nice.
And you only get up to chapter whatever, and then you pick it up again in the car, it picks up in
that same place. That's fabulous.
Because,
it's connected to your account.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amazon knows everything about you anyway, so.
So why not let them know everything about what you like to listen to?
What chapter you're on, yeah. So audibletrial.com/frankandfriendsshow. Get that free 30-day trial and take advantage of the gift that does not cause any clutter, because it just takes, your extra time that you would have maybe wasted while you're brushing your teeth, cleaning. You could be listening to an audiobook or other audio entertainment.
Or the Frank and Friends show.
Yeah, we are on there, actually. Mention it. Yeah. All right. How about that? That was a good plug. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Enjoying your travels. You're headed off to
Dallas and New Orleans. Yep.
All right. I don't think I'm going anywhere.
All right.
My wife's trying to get me to go somewhere for New Year's Eve, but I don't want to.
Resist.
No, I wish I could get Artie Rocket to come down here so I could take him to Gatlinburg for the Bon Jovi tribute band.
That would be fun.
But I don't think that's going to happen.
That would be fun.
All right. Thanks a lot for watching, listening, subscribing.
Smashing that button.
And sharing this with your friends. That's also super duper important to us. frankandfriendshow.com is the website. I'm Frank Murphy.
I'm Kathryn Frady.
And we will talk to you next time. Merry Christmas. Every time the bell rings. Look at me, I'm giving out wings.
It's like midnight.